Well, hello, my radio friends. Now, welcome to the first installment, you might say, of the restoration of my RCA AR-812. It is a very common set. It's probably one of the more common early superhits. It is a 6-tube UV-199 set, the short pin 199s. For just some general overview, the AR-812 came out in, I believe it was March of 24. It was an early superhet. And at the time, the superhet technology was still pretty new. And RCA wanted to find a way to protect prying eyes from getting into their circuitry and reverse engineering it. And, excuse me, one of the ways they did was to bury the whole circuitry inside a metal can. And that's exactly what you see here, called the catacomb, CAT for short. In fact, RCA called it the catacomb. I'll tilt it up so you can see the whole can beneath. The can is, it's a resin, kind of a wax paraffin filled can. All the circuitry within, with the exception of minor components externally, your tuning capacitors and your oscillator coils over here. But for the most part, everything, audio transformers and all, are buried inside this resin-filled can. Obviously, it makes repairs a fair amount more difficult. Started doing preliminary tests of this particular catacomb, and I found several different anomalies that I've got to address. In fact, here's two schematics. Let me show you both of them. The one on the right is all scribbled over, and I've had this one for probably 20 years. I've been holding on to it and I make notes all over it with different ohm readings I got from different points throughout the testing. This is a RCA schematic. I have to say, for a novice, it'd probably be a little difficult to follow, but don't let your heart be troubled. Take a look here. Instead of looking for RCA, look up Brunswick Radio Corporation in Nostalgia Air or in Riders, and in volume or page 1-1, and underneath, once again, under Brunswick Radio Corporation, you will find a much simpler drawn out schematic of the set. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to use this one for clarity. These are the problems I found as I ohmed. And what one will do is each of these tie points one sees here is referencing this tie point here. So all one merely has to do is take an ohm meter, ohm from this tie point to the respective part of the circuitry as you go along. And as we both know, or all of us know, audio transformers are probably one of the biggest failure items in 20 sets, and this set is no exception. You can see by the yellow area here, I had an open secondary in this audio transformer, open secondary in this audio transformer, as well as an open going to the plate of what they're calling V3. So when I ohmed from the respective tie points, all throughout the circuits, everything checked good except for these three different locations. Now, in order to bring it one step further, I mentioned the cat. I mentioned everything's buried in rosin. Let's take a look at one that I have since removed from the resin. Actually, I removed this one back in, according to my notes that were tied to it, in 2014. And my notes said it had a bad audio, and of course you could see I have it tagged here just the same. But as you can see, maybe you could see, there's a whole lot of coils and a whole lot of little fine wires all throughout here. And for what it's worth, this big red resistor you see right here, that's actually your grid leak. But on the rear side, you'll see even more, bunch of little fine hair wires. And all this is buried once again in that rosin in the can. And I actually place the can in the oven, and I melt it in the oven and pull it out, and it comes out nice and clean like you see here. And in a future video, I will show the process of which I go about doing that. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on what Dave found so far. And as I said, 2 audios and 1 bad B+ going to your plate of V3. So it will be continued. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you all following, those that will or are. And as always, until next time.